So I did a poll on my Twitter, and if you're not following my Twitter, you should follow my Twitter. I originally had turned my Twitter off, like, oh, I'm not in the adult industry anymore. I don't need my Twitter. Well, it turns out that all of my girls are on Twitter. That's where you guys are. That's where I want to be able to connect with you unless we are in the program together. So I've been on Twitter, and I've been doing polls, and you guys had a few polls, and you answered a few of the polls, and there were a few things that you wanted covered in those polls. So today, I'm going to cover those. What's up, everybody? This is Lindsay, and you are here with Clarity Couture. I wanted to say real quickly, thank you so much for taking the time to click in and share this space with me. As you can see, I am in a bikini, and I blend in with what looks like a very white sky, and that's because I'm in Oregon, and it isn't very often that we get really, really beautiful days like today. So when you get a really beautiful day, you just throw your bikini on and hope nobody is offended. If you're offended, well, I can help you out of that. So when I did this poll that I mentioned to you guys in the preview, I had mentioned 4 different things that I wanted to see what you guys were struggling with. Those were lack of income, no stability, the state of the world, and you're burned out, but you feel like you can't stop working. Now, out of those 4 things that you guys were struggling with the most was no stability, the state of how the world is, you're burned out, but you don't feel like you can stop, okay? So today we're going to address the lack of stability, because I think that is a big situation that really does need to be addressed, right? First off, if you weren't exactly stable before quarantine, this didn't do anything for you and what you would perceive as a good thing, right? It's overwhelming. You are literally on the precipice of what you would see your world crumbling, and it is daunting to not only address but to talk about, right? And when you talk about it, it's hard to not go into all the things going wrong. There are things where your mental mind is messing with you, and you're like, okay, this doesn't make any sense, and so your logic is kicking in, and then the fear of all of those past experiences of what would ensue the world ending is shown to you right here. And so no matter how you try, that stability is eluding you. And now more than ever, there's time to really build your foundation. And when you're building your foundation and you're focusing on what it is that needs to be fixed so that you can actually gain that momentum of stability, there are a few questions that you want to ask yourselves. The first question is this: if I did nothing about where I am right now, where would I be in a year? Okay, so that's obviously going to bring in worst case scenario ideals. It's going to bring in all of those things that are clearly going wrong. They're clearly going wrong. Things stay the way they are. Well, if I don't have any fucking toilet paper, that's overwhelming as well. So when you think about, okay, if nothing changes and I'm here in a year, that seems pretty terrifying. That first terrifying fact in your mind is actually a lie. And I'm here to alleviate that for you by simply reminding you of one true fact of life. And this is what that is. The tables always turn. Nothing can stay the same. Nothing. Things can get worse or they can get better based on who's perceiving it, right? And when you really perceive things, we need to really get a new mindset. It would be radical for a lot of you because you're thinking of it in regards to black and white. This is how things are. This is how things are described as. So this would be bad. This is where good is. I don't see any of this. So obviously the world is bad. Now we know as humans that nothing is black and white. No, if you're a doctor, no one human case is going to be the exact same as another human case because no one person's genetic makeup is the exact same. So when you're focused on this and you're thinking, why would she ask me what it's going to be like in a year if nothing changes? Like, why does she want to put me in this fear place? First off, I'm not into fear porn, okay? It's not our thing. We don't do that here. What I do is I give you questions so that you can self-analyze, because when you're able to self-audit your own thoughts, there's no possible way that you can be where you are right now in 1 year from now, especially if you're listening to my videos, even if you get triggered. And I will tell you why. Because when you go away from the video and you're steaming and you're thinking about it, first off, if you've left the video and you're still thinking about it, that's growth. That's growth right there. It's already hit you where it needs to hit you. Now, if you're watching the videos and you're intrigued by them and you're enjoying them, there is no possible way that you could watch my videos each week and stay the exact same, because every single video I share, I give value on how you personally can grow into your highest self. And that's all I want to do here. I don't care about the likes or the subscribes. I love those people that give me those. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. That's an energetic exchange that genuinely costs you nothing, and no one asked you to do it. You did it on your own. I remind you guys at the end of my videos, I really like the cute little things that pop up. Give me a reason to put something cute on my screen and I'll do it. So getting back to the idea of you not changing and staying the exact same for 1 year. That's possible. Highly unlikely, but it's possible. Because even if you go through all of this terrifying, traumatic things, at the end of that, there is still growth. No matter how you cut it, whether it's something good that has happened, well, granted, if good things always happen, you have a better chance of staying stagnant, okay? So when you're viewing this as no stability, there's no stability anywhere, the sky is falling. Basically, the sky's falling. Any way that you look at it, the sky is fucking falling. So when you're viewing it that way and you're like, the sky is falling. First off, I have a snack here and I love peppers. They're so good. When the sky is falling, you'd have to see, like if you're thinking about the sky visually falling, right? It was that little cartoon, Chicken Little, sky is falling, the sky is falling. Now think about where they were standing to see the sky falling. They were under it, right? So if you were to elevate yourself above all of this stress and this fear, you would get a different view because you'd be above it rather than below it. And you'd be able to see from a bird's eye view, a different perspective of the entire situation. And when we're viewing this idea of no stability, you want to step out of where you're at mentally, because where you're at mentally is already spiraling. It's a downward spiral, all right? My mentor, Rachel Bell, teaches us about the upward spiral, which I think would be considered getting yourself into the vortex, as Abraham Hicks says. So when you're downward spiraling, right, you need to find a way to shift that perspective. And it's like going to be different for everybody. Yeah, we would all love for just a 5K to go into the account. Like, that's cool. But that lack of stability with a mindset is going to still exist. It is, to me, the equivalent of putting a Band-Aid over a bullet wound and hoping that that bullet wound doesn't fester and get infected. So when we're addressing the lack of stability, yes, there's a lot of instability going around. There's a lot, for sure. When we talk about changing this perspective, to get out of the perspective of instability, you would need to shift your energy out of instability. And it really is a mind trick. I want to challenge you for 5 days, okay, to write out every morning your ideal day. Not what is happening in the world and it's ideal to what the reality is now. I want your ideal day. And I want you to really focus on that. And some of you are going to go, I don't know what my ideal day is, because you're unable to attach yourself from the current situation of how the world is currently. So this is going to take some really radical shifting on your part, and you can do this. You truly can. You have to allow yourself. And allowing means not mentally saying, after you sit down with your pen and paper and go, I don't know what the fuck she's talking about, I can't do this. We're gonna go right up here, and I want you to click that video if that's you. This is an I am versus I can't. What are you affirming to yourself video? And this video will help to redefine for you what mental talk that you're giving. This is why I give these videos out to you. And if I had more time, I would definitely do 6 days a week, maybe even every day of the week. But because I have taken on so much, I want to be able to give my clients 110% of me. So yes, I will continue with the free value at 3 days a week for you guys. Absolutely. Please don't think that the videos are going to stop. They're not. You will soon see them scheduled, okay? But I need you to understand that it is an energy exchange amongst all of us. So if you're focused and giving all of your energy to something that's terrifying you, and you're focused on it, and you're like, I'm not going to get this back, this isn't going to work out for me, everything is going to be terrible, your focus, we're going to put this video right up here, okay? This was Friday's video. This video broke down for you very, very simply what your thoughts are to your body. Your body is the vehicle for your soul. Your thoughts then become the navigation system. With what thoughts that you choose, the address, i.e. the thoughts that you type in, is where your vehicle, your body, your focus, your mental, your external will go. Now I'm going to keep repeating this, and I'm going to keep pushing you guys to that video because it's so important for you to understand that you are able to shift out of this. So I want you to really think hard. Okay, this is the activity for you guys today. I want you to really brain dump everything onto a paper, what you want, paper, and brain dump everything, absolutely everything, and not the stuff you're afraid of, just everything you want. Okay, and I want you, this is the important part, you are not going to include in this, I want the quarantine to be over, because that's not the reality you're viewing this from. You're viewing it from the reality that you created, and this is gonna be really hard for some of you. So I want you to really be gentle with yourself and honor the fact that you even try, because it requires a lot of strength to go, where I'm at is not where I want to be, and no one can get me out of this except for me. So now that you have your activity, and you've really got, this is going to be homework for some of you, honestly, because you got to think about what you want. And when you realize that you've been basing your everyday choices on the external reality right here, it makes everything pointless if you've been planning ahead for a reality of right now and the probability of things going wrong. You've already screwed yourself over. You really have. That's self-sabotage. That video right there. Yeah, that's why I make these videos for you guys. So when I talk about it and you're like, what is that? I can refer you to what it is. And then you can go, oh, wow, I really am doing that. Now, after you've compiled your entire random, and it doesn't have to be in a list, literally just write. You'll probably waste a couple pieces of paper. It's totally cool. It's totally fine. You're okay to do that. It's all right. After you brain dumped everything, then you want to write your story. Your perfect day from start to finish. We've talked about this before. Now this is scripting, but it's not in scripting the way that I've explained, because that video right there explains scripting in a way that's like, oh, you do it once and it's in passing. I want you to put all of your focus and intent on this and watch what goes on. Literally watch what happens. I can't tell you exactly what's going to happen because I don't know what you want. I can't do that for you, and I can't be that for you, but I can certainly support you and guide you through it. I didn't have that when I was going through this. I just had to kind of stumble in the dark, and that's why when I began awakening in 2012 to 2015, it was a struggle. I rode the struggle bus to school, okay? When you're choosing to not listen to your inner self, you ride the struggle bus. It's very important for you to allow that new energy to permeate, because the energy of the old is obviously not here. What we were dealing with is obviously not what we're dealing with anymore. So you can't base your life off of that. Not for 1 second. So I'm going to leave you with an affirmation. That affirmation is, I am the creator of my reality. I am the creator of my reality. And remember that you are the creator of your reality. Remember that your body is a vehicle for your soul, and that it's important to drive yourselves well. And when I say drive yourselves well, I mean pick the navigation system that drives your car, your body, you, to an external reality you enjoy and not into a freaking wall. All right, guys, I love you. Thank you for being here. Remember to like and subscribe. Namaste.